So I have to ask you, gentlemen, where were you when you found out that the Black Panther has returned?
Let's see.
I was in my house, man. You know what I'm saying? I was in my house. I'm like watching little highlights from Hall H, see what they were cooking up, and I found out that we're getting another Black Panther movie, but also another Black Panther. This is interesting. This is the third Black Panther in the past 3 Black Panther films. I am extremely curious as to how they're
It's
planning
true.
on breaking this down.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
bound to
if you
happen.
were somehow unaware what new Black Panther is coming in, well, Black Panther 3. Well, we already know Black Panther 3 is being worked on by the Cougs.
Yeah,
That's
the
what we
Cougs.
call them. The Cougs, yeah.
Only,
You know
only
about
real
that?
ones. Did not
Only
realize
real
that
ones, yeah.
you and Ryan Coogler were so close, Bait.
Yeah. You know, we talk.
You're like
So
Will and Rob from those areas.
so we're getting a new Black Panther, and it's gonna be played by David Johnson, I believe is the actor.
Yes, David or Dave Johnson.
Yeah, I thought it's from The Long Walk.
Yes, and Alien Romulus. He had a really great year last year. He is 32, right? And like he was I know a lot of people talk about Industry. I haven't seen Industry, but that's where he kind of like got to start off, like as an HBO show. Of course, he's British because we can't escape the British.
Hey man, the British are coming. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is. But he's a really excellent actor. He really proved himself, especially like last year. I think they're really capitalizing on this like talent, and he will play T'Challa Jr., who I can only assume, due to Doomsday Secret Wars shenanigans, will be rapidly aged up.
Yeah,
Between his last appearance in Black Panther 2 as a child.
Yeah.
And some time shenanigans.
Secret
Wars things gonna happen. And
it's Doom, brother.
Especially considering that
shenanigans.
especially considering that Letitia Wright and him are the same age. It would be weird if they tried to pretend that she was also like 15 years older than him.
Yeah,
I mean, she could just age gracefully.
That would be odd.
But
yeah, she aged gracefully. Yeah,
black don't crack.
Black don't crack. You know. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get like a T'Challa led Black Panther and get more T'Challa in general. I like Shuri. But you know, T'Challa is, I think, is special, right? He's special. I know it won't be the same as Chadwick Boseman, but I think one of the knock-on effects of Chadwick Boseman's unfortunate passing was Marvel got spooked off of putting T'Challa in like anything for a few years. If you've been following like any of the other side stuff, like the different like Marvel animated projects or some of the games or different things, like every time you would see a Black Panther, it wouldn't be T'Challa. Like it was almost like they were holding that like spot for him out of respect, which like it's nice, kind of, but at the same time, you know, you don't have to, like X-Men 97, they made the Black Panther T'Chaka inexplicably instead of T'Challa. Just I don't know. It was a very weird thing.
But I think in that case though, it was because the time period was like earlier.
I'm almost certain T'Challa has shown up in the original X-Men series or in that connected universe. But yeah, and I want T'Challa stories. He's cool. I like T'Challa. You know,
T'Challa is
I don't know if we'll get all the stuff that T'Challa will do. I think we kind of missed the boat on whatever T'Challa would have with Namor. I don't know if that's going to really be they're going to kick that back up for David Johnson's character. But there is a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool Succession War stuff and a lot of cool things you can do with this character. So I am curious. I'm definitely curious.
Yeah.
Do you think Killmonger returns?
Yeah, they want to.
Nah,
I know they
don't
want
think
to
so.
so badly.
Think
If they
Killmonger
could,
returns for his third round?
if they could, they would. If they could, they would. You know, they can actually. You know, they could do some
can.
timey-wimey stuff. Post
Nothing can
Secret
stop
Wars.
them.
Post Secret Wars, they can do some timey-wimey stuff and throw in Michael B. Jordan, you know,
Oh
for
yeah,
another
Michael B.
round.
Jordan survived.
Right.
Hey man, listen.
What if
Killmonger,
Michael B. Jordan is in Secret Wars?
like
It could
there
happen.
was a future. There was a future where Killmonger didn't get killed, and so now he's back.
Yeah. Because
that's
Battle World's
anything's
all a
on the
bunch
table.
of different universes kind of smashed together. So
I think
I'd be down to see it.
Mm-hmm. And I would say that I mean Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are such an amazing powerhouse duo. So
my theory about how this Panther comes back is that he's a Panther from a timeline where Wakanda is completely like destroyed by Doom. So he, in order to like escape, you know, he does some timey-wimey stuff in the future, and now he's back in our current timeline. And you know, now that he's here and he has no future to go to, he decides to just settle down here and become the Black Panther of this era.
okay. I can see it.
Yeah, let's see like a possible thread for that.
That's possible.
There's also the San Diego Comic-Con news with our boy Ryan Gosling is gonna be Ghost Rider, which is interesting.
Oh yeah,
cool.
I did just hear about that.
I'm excited for that.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit weird if they can fast track a Ghost Rider movie rather than a Blade movie.
Well, you know.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
I mean, how hard is it? Is it harder to make a which one's the most complicated to create a manufactured story?
Here's what I heard about the Blade movie. All right, here's the word on the street about the Blade movie.
Popped balloon, brother. Blade is a popped balloon right now.
Is the fact that they wanted to inject a bunch of stuff into Blade. I think someone said we don't want just a Blade movie about Blade running around killing vampires, which is weird because that's what everyone wants from a Blade movie. Traditionally,
that's the most basic fundamentals right there.
Might be
but they wanted to, yeah, but they want to add in a bunch of side characters and have Blade mentor a young girl or something and have life lessons or whatever. They wanted to do a bunch of stuff with the Blade movie, and it put it into development hell. I think at one point they wanted to make it a period piece, which is ironic because the period piece would have resembled one Sinners, and Sinners kind of snatched that, right from under them. And so Blade has just been in a nonstop developmental hell, and they squandered Mahershala Ali, which is crazy.
Extremely frustrating as a fan. I can't even express to you. And you know what's funny? His fight, he's also frustrated. He's expressed multiple times. Just I'm actually really upset that this did not happen. So no one's happy that Blade is not happening. But I guess we'll just have to settle for the other Ryan.
Maybe it can be a buddy cop movie. Okay, maybe it can be Ghost Rider and Blade teaming up.
Have you ever read a Ghost Rider comic
maybe that's
book?
not a good idea. Maybe that's not a good idea at all.
Yeah. Maybe it can be a Lethal Weapon.
Maybe Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be mad about these comments being made. It's show me that comic book.
We can't write
that down.
Maybe we get the old Ghost Rider in this movie as a cameo.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, Nicolas Cage. Show up.
You think they're gonna drag out Nicolas Cage for Doomsday?
What's crazy, bro? Is it wouldn't shock me if we got an alternate reality version. I don't think we're going to see Ghost Rider in Doomsday, but I think it would be nice if we got an alternate reality version of that for the Ghost Rider movie specifically. I'm down for that.
It's funny, they did do Ghost Rider. They have done Ghost Rider technically in the MCU, technically.
Technically,
Yeah.
On Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, and the TV shows.
Yes, yes.
Ah,
I think that was the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
With
as
the
from what I've
car.
heard, yeah.
muscle car.
are we calling TV shows part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah.
You know, some
question.
people really would like to. Some people really, really liked
I
that
think
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show.
I think it is.
Hold on, let
canon,
me call
though.
Kevin Feige right now.
Is it not?
But I think Kevin Feige has shown that he has not cared for the TV division, the pre-MCU TV division, and
Okay.
would like to pretend it doesn't exist.
Fair enough. That in a way makes almost more sense to me, but neither here nor there.
And lastly, from the SDCC, we had what was the third piece of news, and why can't I remember it?
Some insane news. I
LeBron to
probably
the
forget.
Sixers.
Yeah, LeBron, you're
What do
right.
you got?
I can't believe they announced LeBron to the Sixers.
It was bad enough.
At
seeing
Comic-Con,
Jalen
can you imagine they
Comic-Con,
announced
yeah,
that
that
at
was crazy.
Comic-Con? LeBron comes out at Comic-Con to announce he's going to the 76ers.
Guys, hold on. So,
That would be so funny.
No, I think that's the main thing. I guess there's also some Lanterns stuff, but I think those are the main two announcements that from SEC. There's a ton of X-Men rumors, like in the zeitgeist, like Adam Driver being Mr. Sinister.
I mean, there's always X-Men.
Yeah, rumors. I mean, we'll see. We'll see definitively this in a few short days. We're gonna see whether or not Sadie Sink's Jean Grey. Jean Grey. But we're gonna see.
No, she's gonna be Squirrel Girl, guys. She's Squirrel Girl.
She's gonna be Hope Summers. Imagine they did some super I mean, that is an MCU thing to do. Extra convoluted.
Guys, it's obvious.
I'm so curious, though. I'm extremely curious. Spider-Man movie is going to be great. I'm pumped.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's obvious that Sadie Sink will play the one and only Storm.
True. We weren't thinking outside the box enough.
That is so outside the box. I hope it's outside of reality as well.
The black people been having a lot of the redhead roles, right? So to really break it back, to really reset everything.
This is equivalent exchange.
Yeah, we gotta get something up.
Equivalent exchange. It's never gone back. You're right. It's never a 7, and they've never done it in reverse. Okay, I like the way you think. I do like the way you think.
It's like a real Tenet situation.
Exactly.
Yes, Tenet, yeah.
It's a temporal pincer movement that they were trying to do.
It's a temporal pincer movement. In the past, we're changing redheads into black people. In the future, we're changing black people into redheads.
Exactly.
It's converging.
The timelines are converging. Thanks, Loki.
Yeah, we're doing it. That's the future.
Unhinged.
I love it.
All right, so on to our actual podcast that we came here to do. We're here to talk about Avatar. We were talking about Tenet, but we switched up last minute because the movie was much shorter, and it also just came out, and there's a lot of interest in it. So we were covering Avatar, Aang, the Last Airbender, which is the first. It's the first Avatar movie, right?
Yeah. Well, the first,
animated
Yes.
Avatar movie. Yes,
and the first animated version of the adult, original Avatar cast. Outside of, because we saw a little bit of them in Korra, but this is the first adventure they've had.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are here to cover it, and in order to do this, we brought together the 4 nations. I'm gonna see who's in what nation. I'm gonna call.
Wow.
Beto. I'll say from the Fire Nation.
Beto's the Fire Nation.
Yeah,
shades, right?
No, it's because he's Latino.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy, bro. That's a take.
We're just gonna put the tortillas and everything. We just make tacos, guys.
Oh man,
we're about to celebrate someone's first birthday. I brought the beer. It's in the back.
All right. Super O. I feel like you are an air nomad. You know, swirling around, moving around.
Oh, let's get
Alright.
Did you just breathe on me?
Bro,
You know
calm
what? And
down.
Gray the Samurai. You know, they've always called you a bit slick. So you were repping the Warrior Nation.
I mean, I'll take it, man. We cooling out here. You feel me?
And you know, from the Earth Nation, Bates of Dust, myself, and we are covering the Avatar movie.
Here's your rock. Keep that.
Yeah. We stay hard out here. Okay.
No pause.
No pause.
Resume.
So I think this is a pretty interesting thing for me to cover because my place in the Avatar fandom is fractured, to say the least. I'm the right age to be an Avatar fan, but for whatever reason, I believe I've only seen the first 2 seasons of Avatar when they came out on television, and then I completely missed the last season. And I've watched Legend of Korra. So that is where I'm coming from with the Avatar fandom. So there's big gaps here. There's big gaps. I like it, but I'm not like a fan of the original show. And I have a much more deeper connection to Legend of Korra than original Avatar, which I know is controversial, but it is what it is.
Yeah, on my end, I have watched, all the Avatar. I watched, The Last Airbender. Funnily enough, the first time I watched Last Airbender in its entirety was my dad took a trip to Nigeria and he came back and there was like a bunch of bootleg DVDs he got, and one of them had all the episodes of Avatar. And that's how me and all my siblings got hip to the series. And
What was it? What was the quality on that the DVD riff?
I think it was pretty good.
Was it a good rip?
Yeah, it was a good rip. It was a
Okay, it
genuine,
wasn't
like,
crunched?
Yeah, no, it was pretty decent, but like clearly not official. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It had like the commercials in it as well, or was it just
No, just the episodes. Each episode had this was a professional job.
Okay.
But no, you could select the episode that you wanted for each season. Well, there was 3 discs, and each disc had one of the seasons. You could select each episode you wanted to watch on each one.
See, back in the olden days, for the kids out there, before the streaming, I guess it's easier to technically it's easier to pirate now because you can just find a website and watch it. But back in the olden days, they're called burning a disc, where you would have to have a special computer and disc tray, and you'd copy the files from your computer onto a disc and make it into a DVD. And then in a barber shop, okay, if you were if you're in a neighborhood, you go to your local barber shop, and your barber would be selling an entire stack of burned DVDs.
exactly?
What did they call those, Bait? Do you remember the name?
The bootlegs?
There we go. Just want to make sure we were
bootlegs. Yeah,
No, okay. All right. Cool.
See, I remember my family. We watched what was it? Why Did I Get Married 2? And it was a bootleg of it, and it was clearly like a cam rip recording of somebody like in a theater.
Oh, that's great.
You know,
Those are the best.
Those are the times.
Yeah,
those are the times.
Funnily enough, I
were the
also
times.
got a bootleg Tyler Perry bootleg DVD from the barbershop as well. But I got
From the barbershop. Yeah.
I think it was like Madea Goes to Jail.
Oh, that's great. I love this.
But at the time, I didn't know what bootlegs are. So, like, randomly during the theater, to the showing, there'll be people coming up and moving across it. And in my head, I'm thinking, that's a weird stylistic choice to put in a movie. That's so weird. I mean, I get it. It's like there's people watching. Okay, Ty Perry, I see what you're on.
That's great. I love that.
But yeah, no, with Avatar, yeah, upon watching the series the first time, became one of my favorite, if not, not. It's definitely in my top three favorite just cartoons of all time. It's like I love the
Top
world.
3, you said?
Yeah, yeah,
High up.
cartoons.
Okay, okay,
Uh,
okay.
also,
American animated pieces. I understand what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh, and I got into, and then Korra came out, and I personally, I think Korra's good. I don't think it's at the level of the Last Airbender for me personally, but it's still pretty good. And I even got dove a bit more into the comics as well, which is delves even more into their future adventures of the series. So I've messed with this the show and the Avatar property for a long while, and every new Avatar day that comes out, I'm like on that, except for live action stuff because that is some boo boo butter.
But you not a fan of Shyamalan? Come on, man.
I'm not a fan of Shyamalan. Netflix is
That's
honestly
Yeah,
like,
even
crazy,
the new Netflix
man.
stuff is kind of
it's like, what are we doing?
yeah. What's your relationship with Avatar Grey?
So I definitely watched. Shout out to Nickelodeon. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Shout out to Nickelodeon for making it possible for us to be able to watch a TV show like this. I think I don't think we would have gotten this from Cartoon Network. I don't think we would have gotten something like this
Whoa,
from
whoa, whoa,
Disney
whoa,
Channel.
whoa, whoa. Okay, all right.
I don't think
Hold
so.
up,
I think
we
hold
so.
up.
we probably
Whoa,
guessed
I don't think
it was
so.
because of Cartoon Network.
I don't think so.
Whoa.
I don't
Cartoon
think
Network
so.
gave us Cartoon Network had Clone Wars on it. Cartoon Network had
Yeah,
Thundercats. Cartoon Network
Ben
had Ben
10.
yeah,
10.
yeah. Cartoon Network has some really good stuff, but I don't think any of those shows that you just named have the depth of Avatar.
I'd
No
argue Ben
offense.
10. I'd argue Ben 10. Ben 10 goes
Ben 10
as
has
crazy.
the
Ben
depth
10 has
like
crazy lore.
of Avatar.
Yeah, Ben 10's depth is deep, bro. Ben 10 is like, because
Okay,
it's not just Ben 10. It's Ben 10 OG, Ben 10 Alien Force, Ultimate
okay,
Alien,
okay,
Omniverse, and all of those have like their own subsects of like the lore in the universe that they explore.
okay.
Like that Ben 10 hole is deep, bro.
I think he's talking about emotional depth.
No, no,
Yeah,
not bullshit.
I'm not just talking about a number
Okay.
of stories, brother. You saying a catalog is deep. I'm not talking about the catalog, bro. I'm talking about the actual themes of the show. What's
Okay.
happening?
No,
I'm talking about the themes of the show. The themes of Avatar are extremely deep. The concepts are extremely deep, and I did not watch all of Avatar. I'll be very upfront about that. I've seen it in bits and pieces. Everything I've seen, I've enjoyed. I've seen an enormous number of clips online from Avatar, because I think as a general population, my generation really did enjoy this series like a lot. And I understand why. Like there aren't many things like I mentioned earlier that I would have seen from other networks that did show animated television shows when I was younger that kind of have the same concepts and same themes that Avatar dove into. So I want to give a shout out to Nickelodeon not just for what they crafted back then, but what they allowed the animators to continue for this film. I was blown away by how good this film looked. And we'll talk more about it soon. But
Mhm.
I have to genuinely admit that Avatar was able to do some things that we just haven't seen from many other shows. I understand why it's in Super O's top 3. It's not in my top 3, but I do like it a great deal.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And Beto.
My my attachment to this is I missed it. Whoops. Avatar flew by me as a child because I was an actual child starting kindergarten. So I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That whole show really flew by me.
That was a very funny way to say it.
So I didn't care about Avatar until the pandemic. When they announced that it was going on Netflix, I was like, why not? Let me get into it.
See, I feel like we all took different paths during the pandemic. Well, you watched Avatar. I think I got into One Piece and Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
One Piece for me
That's
too.
yeah, that was the path I took.
Started and finished during the Great
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so just I watched that and that was it. I almost started Korra and I was like, no, and I didn't start it. I never got to it. Don't think I'll ever get to it. I'm glad I didn't. Because not because of the criticisms and the hype around Korra. It's just that again, uh, the internet won't shut up about it, so it's kind of mildly spoiled to me. So I know who dies, who doesn't die, who what
It's not good.
happens to
Mhm.
some avatar state. So I know some things about it, but it's not gonna like I'm not gonna be emotionally invested that much into it when that happens.
I agree with
So
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Stop
still
ruining
So-
things on the internet, people. That's the
Eh,
message here.
it's
That's the
inevitable.
message here. Stop.
It's
don't
gonna
have to.
happen.
They don't have
It's gonna
to.
happen. Like spoilers are gonna happen, so you have to be
Yeah.
quick with doing
You gotta
stuff.
you either have to be quick about it or you just have to not care. For the
Yeah.
most part, I settle to not care. You can spoil me. I go, oh, and then I'll watch it. That's how it goes. I don't know.
I hate spoiling with a passion, bro.
Yeah, no, I
Nobody better ever spoil Spider-Man for me. I do not want to
I
hear
will-
nothing
I will
about this
try.
movie until I see it myself.
See, that's why I'm double dipping. That's why I'm double dipping on a Thursday because I know if I wait until Sunday, I will get spoiled on Twitter. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
And now
Somebody's gonna
It's a
do
foregone
something stupid and
conclusion.
say too much. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so
Damn,
the
leakers.
movie. If we had to do the summary, we'll have our Avatar expert, or senior Avatar expert, Suvo, break down the Avatar Aang, the Last Airbender. It's such a weird title.
You're a weird title.
You're not wrong. Like, I guess takes one to know one. So yes, Suvo, please take us away. Tell us the story of Aang.
Okay, so it's gonna be a breeze. So it's been 13 years since the end of the original series, which was the end of the 100-Year War. And our movie starts with Aang kind of reminiscing about the past. And he's reminiscing about when he was with his air nomads before they got wiped out. And Aang, being the last airbender, feels extremely guilty about this because he ran away on the day of Susan's Comet where his people were attacked. And, as a result, his people got, wiped out. And whether him being there or not would have changed the tides of anything, or not, is really not a factor for Aang because, he still feels like, as an Avatar, it was his duty to be there and he wasn't. So he's kind of just carrying this guilt with him, and also loneliness because as the last Airbender, there is no other Airbenders around now. As we see, they're opening up, Republic City, which is a landmark in Korra. And the Republic City is kind of like home for like all the nations to get together. But there's 4 nations, but it's only 3 nations living there because no more airbenders. And this kind of gets to Aang a bit.
Say Aang's not being proactive on the airbender front. Because
No.
if he wanted more airbenders, he has a wife. Okay,
That was my exact thoughts when he was having that whole conversation. It's like the airbenders are all gone.
He's busy, bro. He's busy doing Avatar duties. You know what I mean? His Avatar goals. You got to put him first before he starts having kids. You know what I mean?
He didn't have the impure thoughts right there. He was very
it's
in
like
his nomad status.
there's a bit in during the Krakoa age where they're like, we have all the mutants back, what we're gonna do now, and Nightcrawler is like, well, we have to make more mutants. It's we have to get on that.
But
Why wait?
yeah, see me back. He's like, oh yeah, you ain't going nowhere. No. But yeah, no. So While Aang is reminiscing about this, and I believe he's like in a air temple. He gets attacked by this rogue non-bender group named the Denied or the
Mhm.
Deniers. And the Deniers are there because they're here to see. They're looking for a relic uh, that is tied to this person called Sonam. He evades them off.
Yeah, and he's like, lend me, and Aang's like, lend me some Avatar state. These are base humans I'm up against.
Okay, the lights were too bright. He got stuff.
Aang,
He
okay,
got.
I'll say for most of the movie, Aang is a little bit fraudulent.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll say
hey,
okay, I would say like they did. I feel like they did nerf him a bit in the film because there are like instances, not even just here, where like as I'm watching, I'm like, I don't think he would be struggling. I don't even think Kid Aang would be struggling with this right now as he is right now.
yeah, there's a bit where he's climbing a mountain, and I'm like, can't you just like bend the rock to get up to me? I'm confused. Why is this hard? I don't. And like I said, I
the
haven't
wind,
seen
bro.
the
Like it was like
I
Stone
haven't seen
Mountain.
like the show, so I don't know exactly how the bending powers work. But I feel like this movie, a lot of it, I was like, can't you just like bend the thing to do that?
Yeah. I would say there is like a depowering of Aang a little here. And even when he like goes in Avatar state sometimes in this movie, he's only in there for like 5 seconds before like turning it off again, and it's just like, why don't you just stay in that? Uh, but what he lacks in power, it makes up for in good action scenes. So I think that's kind of their point. But in this specific instance, I can't remember if he prevented him from taking it. But they're pretty much here for the relic of Sonam, and he's telling Katara all this later that they were after a specific relic, and I don't know what their whole goal is because the Deniers are tired of Benders ruling the world. Yeah, they feel like there's a huge power indifference, and they're trying to like just strike back. If you've seen Legend of Korra, it's pretty much Amon's disciples way of thinking of
Yeah, it was
Bender.
interesting that it was kind of like a precursor to Amon's movement.
Yeah.
Um,
Eh,
I guess bender versus non-bender inequality is an issue.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, 'cause it's always been like a thing, especially when especially with the Fire Nation and how they were just wiping out people, just purely off of their just off of their strength. Like it's bad enough if you were a bender, but if you were a non-bender, there's really just literally nothing you could do.
Mhm.
Uh, but upon knowing this, and he goes into the Avatar line because he wants to know more about Sonam because Sonam seems to be just this airbender. So he's going through the Avatar line and it seems like no one's heard of him, which is weird because when you're the Avatar, you're connected to like all the avatars. And no one in that line is like has heard about Sonam, except for this one Earthbender one who was like, Sonam? Oh yeah, I know Sonam. Yeah, she was a really powerful airbending avatar. And she had this special staff that granted her immense strength. The staff is full of spirit energy. So Aang, upon learning this, uh decides that okay, let me search out for the staff because that's the thing that the deniers are going to be after because it grants people immense powers. So he goes off, goes to the mountain, struggles to get up the mountain as Bates mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. Uh, but he gets there and he finds an iceberg, a similar iceberg to the one that he was in the beginning of the series. So he opens it up and what's in it is a man, a very buff man, a man with ancient arrows, it seems. Uh, but there's no time. I'm surprised that this Aang decides to take the man, back with him. And during this whole, and during Aang's whole, traveling the man back.
He almost dies doing this too, which is
Yeah, he-
another point on the fraud or the fraud the fraud
Like,
meter.
oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, this is the Avatar that saved the kingdom.
Yeah,
Him?
This your
And,
felt like
and,
This
and,
your
and
king?
isn't this his prime?
Easy on my goat, dog. Easy on my goat, dog.
I thought the same thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like in that scene, and it looks real cinematic. I'm sure if I was watching it at a theater, I'd be like, whoa,
Yeah.
he's jumping between the fallen rocks, trying to save this guy. That looks similar to an airbender. We can't really tell 100% just yet. And then that guy does something extraordinary. I'll let you tell it, Super.
Yes. So then it seems like Aang's kind of flying the guy away from the fallen mountain. It seems that he's about to get like knocked down. Until the guy he was carrying, he lifts his hand and airbends a massive gust, holding back the fallen rocks. And it's at such a level that it's pretty outstanding for even like a base bender. uh,
Can I speak to this for a minute?
yeah.
This blew my mind, bro. This blew my mind. I was just like, wait, I did not know that airbending even could be this powerful. My guy
Oh,
is
yeah.
holding up an enormous chunk of a mountain with
Yeah.
one wind gust. One wind gust to fire it, one wind gust to stabilize, and he is soloing this thing. Like I got it. Like he no help. And I'm like, I've never seen Aang at any point during this film airbend with this level of force or power at
Aang
any
is getting
stage.
mugged in
This is
this film.
crazy, bro.
To be fair, Taga is a different breed. That's what we're talking
Taga,
about.
well,
Taga is a different.
Taga
He's a-
is. We'll get into it, but it's part of a larger theory that like Aang's era is just soft. Okay, Aang is just in a soft era.
Well, let's not
Okay.
let's not go too crazy now. Let's not go too.
Some could
extreme.
even liken
the
it
evidence
to. No, let
is
me
right
stop.
there.
I'm just saying, it's like you could say Toga is like from the high-end era. Okay, he was back when it was real.
He had to murk
The
people every day.
earthbenders were way scarier than firebenders, apparently.
But yeah, they were able to. So this is when Appa and the gang, come take Aang and Taga back, and Taga gets unconscious for a little bit only to waking up to the gang kind of deliberating, what's the deal with him. And there's an interesting reaction he has when he wakes up. As he gets up, he scans the room and he sees Toph, Earthbending, and he immediately goes into like fight mode. And then he's like, Earthbender. But everyone's like, yo, chill out. Toph's a friend. You're cool. We're all cool. Because it seems apparent that Earthbenders were a huge threat to him at whatever time period he came from. So this is where we learned that his name is Taga, and he's actually been in the iceberg since Soyeon's period, and Soyeon was the avatar of his era. And what made Soyeon so great was that her staff that we mentioned earlier can grant other non-benders the ability to airbend, which is how Taga got his airbending. So upon hearing this is when the gang realizes that this is what the deniers are really after. They're trying to get the Soyeon staff so they can become airbenders, strike back against the world. But Aang hears this and he's like, you know what? A staff that could grant airbenders, dope. Let me let me grab that, and then we could bring back, we could bring back airbending again. I can no longer be the last airbender.
I will say, when Taga is describing his past, right?
Mhm.
Like you get the first little bit of the flashback, like he's talking about Soleil and Terra and stuff. I for just a second there, I thought the twist was gonna be that the airbenders were like Viltrumites. Because there's a bit where he's like, oh yes, the airbenders, they had this, and they had the big temple and stuff. They had this kingdom, and you have like all the air bison flying out and all the airbenders flying. I was like, we were peacekeepers. I was like, is the twist gonna be that they're gonna have the Avatar, which is ruling with an iron fist, and like airbenders are going to show up over your city and destroy everything?
That would be really interesting world building point
the
right there.
Empire from Star Wars, like.
Oh yeah,
we're peacekeepers.
When I first saw it, that's what I thought the big twist was going to be. That?
I mean, in a way, Taga had kind of had.
Yeah, Taga was. But
not as a group. As a group, they weren't on that type of time.
Yeah.
But we later. So upon hearing where the staff is, the gang takes Taga with them to go and find the staff, and to get to the staff, they have to go through the never-ending storm. And right before going through it, there is another ship tailing them, and that is the ship of the Deniers, the Denied. And Taga immediately see them are like, okay, well, they gotta go. Let me just airbend their ship to smithereens, and everyone's like, yo, chill out. Let's not kill people, Taga.
Let's take it easy.
Taga on his King Von timing. He's
okay.
King Von timing is hilarious.
This is me. Bruh. Now, this is a classic example of me not being. Cause I know a big part of the series is like Aang not killing people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But part of me was like when Taga started to airbend around the shift, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You go, Taga. I had. It's real. Like these people want to kill you. These people are attacking you with lethal intent. So you kill them. I don't see what the issue is here.
It's a kids show, bait. This isn't happening.
If you kill a killer, the amount of killers in the world stay the same.
That depends. That really depends on how many killers you kill.
Simultaneously.
Really depends on the number of killers.
It kind of doesn't. It kind of doesn't. Someone's gonna get a get back. Someone's gonna get a get back.
If you kill 5 killers, right? Then the amount of killers has gone down statistically.
Has it? Because one of the people that I killed has a kid, and that kid looks at me like, I gotta kill this guy that killed my dad. And now the number of killers technically has gone up, unless you decide to murder their families.
Well, sometimes you gotta be thorough. So the thing about Taga, and the thing about this is, I respect a character saying I'm not gonna kill people. Okay, I do.
Well,
I do. I'm not opposed, right? But sometimes what you gotta do, a character has to do is I'm not gonna kill people. But when my friend decide to kill a real bad guy, I'm gonna look the other way. Okay,
I'm gonna.
If we're in the big squad, we're all going together, and you're like, well, I don't kill people, right? And we're at Hitler's bunker. Okay, we're all together, right? I'm just saying you don't have to kill Hitler. I'm not making you kill Hitler, but don't stop me. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Turn off the body cam.
If you do something and you're in my crew, then what you do reflects on the crew. Aang did not want to, especially because this is the only other airbender that's alive right now. At this point in the story, it's him and Taga. That's it. He was like, I'm not gonna let the only other airbender that's alive right now be a murderer. of a giant group of people. We don't even know everyone who's in the ship. Could be kids in the ship. We don't know. We have no idea who's in the ship. We're not gonna let you just massacre our entire ship of people. And now the Avatar is a murderer that kills people that he doesn't like. Because that's what the word becomes. This ship got airbent and exploded. Who did it? Had to be the Avatar.
Yeah, the only
right?
other
Like,
guy in the sky.
I mean,
duh.
I will say this. I'll say this, Gray. Past avatars are not strangers. They are not. They're not new to it.
You're
They're
right.
not
Yeah,
new to
no.
killing people.
No, you're right.
Right.
But like that doesn't make it
That
doesn't make it right,
Yeah.
bro. Like
this is
that was
Aang's
sick work.
generation. You know,
It's a different time.
Did
Aang is,
Korra kill anybody?
I don't think so.
Oh, at the very least, I know people in her crew kill people.
I don't. Any people? I don't
Like
think so.
while she was with them or beforehand.
Or at the
think
very
people-
least, people in your crew were in battles where the other person died. Especially in season 3. Okay.
Oh,
not
yeah,
all
you know
those,
what?
not all those,
There is
not,
one.
yeah, those people in Zahir's crew did not make it out. The Red Lotuses did not make it out of season 3. Okay, and Korra and her crew were right there.
Can't say everybody.
But and also there was Amon who died, but that wasn't because of Korra. That was because
That was that was Amon.
Korra,
That was Amon.
yeah, that was.
But you know, yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, this is more proof of say Aang's era soft. Okay,
hey, Aang showed real strength to hold himself back at the extent that he does. You know what I mean? Because he always trying to find a way outing that doesn't involve everyone, you know, dying. Especially because death is such a permanent thing for someone who evaded a genocide. So
Yeah, that's facts, bro.
like
That's what I mean. Deep things, bro. We don't get genocide survivors in most Cartoon Network shows or in most
right.
Disney Channel shows. Like Aang was mad grief, bro. Like, his situation is mad dark.
I got like the
terrible.
darkest past, and I gotta like smile through that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Like, he's still trying to be a kid, man. My guy went through the trenches.
He had it all.
And it took it away.
Facts.
But as we're going through the storm, this is where we start to see a tinge of Taiga's more aggressive side show up. Because there's a bunch of tornadoes and lightning storms and whatnot, and he needs Aang with him to like open up a path to go through the storm and get out of this area. But that would involve leaving his friends behind to kind of like fend the ship off for themselves. And Aang does follow to do this. Now, fortunately, they are able to open up a hole and the whole ship is able to go through. But his team's kind of like a bit peeved off that Aang decided to do to kind of just dip off and go off without consulting them first. And then and kind of got to this point where he's just kind of like stressed out and like, look, none of y'all know what I'm going through right now. All right, it's me, it's Big Egg. All right, I'm so close to getting the staff. I'm so close to getting my people. Y'all know what's like.
This feels cliche at this point when I hear that line. It's like you don't understand what I've been going through, man.
It reminds me kind of the situation reminds me of a similar plot point from the X-Men. Because there's different parts of the X-Men are kind of desperate, and the mutant population's very low, and Cyclops has to make some big money moves to get the mutant population back up. And I would say Cyclops has a little more conviction when it comes to his decision making than Aang does. But the whole Avengers versus X-Men thing was an example of like, we're gonna take a gamble on this potentially dangerous thing because I gotta get my people back. I gotta get these mutants back. There's like 60 of us like in the whole world, and I gotta get my people back. So I'm gonna we need that Phoenix. Okay, you're gonna pass me that Phoenix over. And that is like I found that kind of similarity where Aang's like, no, but I have to get the Airbenders bag. And I think that also makes it more interesting what his ultimate decision was at the end of the day.
Yeah. Can I speak to this too? I think this is a really interesting scene because I'll speak from my own personal perspective here. It was really interesting because it seemed like his new airbending friend just had a lot of faith in the other benders in this moment. He was like, they got it. Like, let us clear the way for them.
Yeah.
I totally believe that they'll be able to figure this out. So, like, in the moment, you're watching it, you're just like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
he must know something we don't. Because he feels like, even though their ship is open, even though their ship is in extreme disrepair, the sides are bursted. Like, he feels like they can figure this out. That's impressive. He must know something we don't. Because he says, hey, we're just going to clear it away, and they're going to sail right through it. Everything's going to be okay. And he's like, all right, I guess I got to trust you. And it turns out exactly how he said. They actually did figure it out, and them clearing the tornadoes actually worked in their favor. But Katara let him have it. She was mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it ended up working out. Like, if he went backwards to save them, then they get caught in a tornado and they die. Like, there was no easy solution in this scenario. Which is why I was like, maybe she got it wrong. Maybe the crew got it wrong in this situation. Obviously, things were not what they seemed at this point in the story. But it was a very interesting scene of like Aang seemingly thinking like, you all have no context as to how I'm feeling, but I trusted y'all and I knew that y'all had it. So this is crazy that now y'all are mad at me for believing in you. Like y'all can't handle it. Like y'all need me for everything. The Avatar, bailing everybody out. Like, I trusted y'all and it worked out. Like, what are y'all mad about? I thought that was an interesting thing that they did with the story to like make it seem like they made the wrong call. But in a way, things were different from what we thought. That was a really interesting scene.
I do like how everyone worked together to get that airship going.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that too.
It's always cool to see the gang work together. And I think I had a similar thought to you, Gray, originally with this scene where it was like, oh, okay, he's saying this. He's saying he's telling Taga's telling Aang to do this because he's trying to tell Aang that, hey, instill faith in your teammates, you know what I mean, and they'll get it through, you know what I mean, sort of like if this was like a One Piece thing, right? It'd be like if someone told Luffy, your crew will handle it because they're your crew. And even though it did work out in the end, I think the biggest issue when I was replaying it and rewatching it, I kind of see what the game was going for. It was a real like, you kind of threw us into the fray without letting us know or even consoling us in like slightly. You know what I mean? It'd be like it'd be like your friend to kind of like pushing you into the fire and be like, well, let's try to go out the other side unburnt. Don't worry, bro. I have full faith that you'll do that. And it's just like, bro, at least tell me I'm getting pushed into the fire.
And the other funny part is, I think one of the funny parts is, if Aang never checked up on any of this stuff with the
with the staff,
the people, the staff, or whatever, the entire situation would have resolved itself.
Yeah,
because what's their name? The deniers, denied, would have never made it. They would have never made it. Right?
Would have had no way to get there. Yeah.
And even if they did, make it, they weren't getting the staff. You have to be the Avatar to get the staff.
The Avatar to get the staff. It's true.
It was a self defeating problem. But
if they just stayed home, if they never
Aang stayed home, it would have solved itself.
But now we actually are here. We're actually at the island where the staff should be. And Aang goes off to look for the staff around the island, and he kind of leaves Taga behind to, I believe it was just to kind of protect his friends.
Yeah, because they blew up the ship. Well, not blew up, but
and the ship's all tattered right now. You know, they're already like starting to work on repairs for it. But we'll get back to that in a little bit. So you know, Aang goes off and he finds the ruins or temple of uh where Soyeon's staff should be. And it could, and as Bates mentioned earlier, it could only be opened by an avatar. So he does his 4 elements to try to open up the staff. And before we see what pops out, we cut back to Taga, and Katara's confronting Taga. You know, he's kind of like, you know, Aang's our avatar, and he's kind, and and he's an airbender, but we know, you know, what kind of airbender he is. He's the kind of, you know, he's a kind guy who always help like anyone. Uh, so I'm kind of unsure what kind of airbender you are, Taga. And Taga's like, oh, for real? Well, I'm Breezy. Chris Breezy. And he immediately immediately
tries to kill.
Yo, Super, you can't make this joke, brother. You can't make this joke, brother.
No, that's good. You know, because it works on multiple levels. It works. It's a layer. It's layered.
You can't make this joke, Super. You can't make this joke, brother. Oh no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I see that
He was saying all that for a minute.
It was as I was talking, the joke was for it was like those puzzle pieces and blue block.
I will say, I like, I'm not super familiar with the voice acting because, like I said, this is not a show that like I remember too much about.
Mhm.
But I will say this is probably where they had the weakest voice acting in the movie, because
for
specifically for like Katara,
Mm.
because like there's a moment where like he blows up the ship. Like you watch the guy blow up the ship, presumably all your friends on it, and that, I'm sorry, but that some of that voice acting was a little bit like that. That's what you're bringing out right now. For
A lot more
you
traumatic.
killed,
Yeah.
for you killed all my friends. That's what you were. That's what the direction gave you. I don't know.
It felt a little bit soft on some of these actors, especially a little bit of Aang. Like like when it comes to some scenes where I think it should be very more angry and vocal, but he's kind of a lot soft. I guess because of his character, he's a soft kind of guy. He's non-violent, nomad kind of thing. So, but there are some points where it's like he's very quiet and very not showing too much emotion to a much dire scene.
Because I heard people had complaints about some of the voice acting. Me personally, I didn't mind any of it. I think the only one that was like noticeable for me was whenever he was a kid, Aang was like a kid in the flashback. I think it was just like the voice they used for Kid Aang. I'm like, but like but I didn't really notice too much. Like I know like a big thing was like they didn't get guy's name, like Dante Basco, I want to say, for Zuko. They got someone else for him.
See, for me, it wasn't like the accuracy of the voices because I don't have that like ear for like who they sound like. It was more of like the performances did not like feel good the scene, and I'm not even gonna call that poor voice acting. I'm not even gonna say they're bad voice actors. I'm gonna say the direction that they were given was not proper for that scene, right? If this is like, you know, if you're saying this is a scene where Katara believes she saw all of her friends blow up,
Yeah. It's pretty
you got to
heavy,
bring a
man.
little more heat, right? And whoever was doing the voice direction did not like direct the voice actor or actress to bring that in her performance, and it made it feel like a little bit flat.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But like you said, you know, he blows up their ship. uh and they immediately start scrapping. But not just Katara. Toph Sokka and Zuko, chime in, and they're like, "You traitor! You're betraying us. I know what you want, but we're gonna put you down." They did not put him down.
I thought that I thought this was Team Avatar. Where was the team? I thought this was Team Avatar in their prime. Where was the sauce? Where was the?
Bruh, it's Taga. Stop it! It's Taga, bruh.
I'm just saying they were getting packed up pretty easily.
That was pretty wild, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Taga is different, bro. Taga is different.
Very different. You're right. He's very different
right now.
Well, he wasn't the Avatar, but yet he can still
only been one element, bro.
Well, I will say I'm gonna defend this.
Nice
I'm gonna defend this. And usually in Avatar, somebody who can bend one element very well can match an Avatar. Yeah. Like if you are a specialist in one element and you're like top at it, you can match an Avatar. And I mean that's the whole thing about the Avatar and like the original series was Fire Lord Ozai. Was able to with just firebending alone was able to scrap with Aang. So
yeah. But it's just Taga's prowess is just on a completely different level. Plus, like he was infused with like spirit energy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and also like I said, like Taga's from the Heian era. When it was real.
Yeah. Coming with generation of pain where murder is minor.
It is. Can now correct me if I'm wrong. There's this question. Can Zuko lightning bend or no?
No, but he can redirect lightning.
You can redirect. He can just do it.
Yeah, he can.
Does he have any special fire techniques? He can't like do blue flame or anything like that. No.
Nah. You can only redirect.
Okay.
With a boomerang, right?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Sokka. That's Sokka. Zuko is the fire one.
Oh, Zuko. I misheard you.
Zuko can redirect lightning, but he does not have lightning bending himself.
Yeah.
Frog watch.
I mean, there are debates with him and Azula, but we're not gonna get into that today.
This is my other thing. I'm gonna say
Toph is a dual bender.
If we're gonna do the power scaling of it all, is the Avatar, original Avatar. I'm not saying they're bad at bending, but that was a generation of like plumbers and mechanics out on the court. Okay,
they were,
but
okay.
But in Korra's generation, that's when the meta was solved. Okay, that's when people really studied their craft and evolved it. All right,
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. If Korra's gang if Korra's gang was in the same spot Aang's gang was in against Taga, even with Korra, they're getting whooped.
They're packing Taga up.
With Korra,
they're gonna pack Taga up. Okay.
In fact, even with Korra in Avatar state, they're getting whooped.
I disagree. The quality of bending improved. Okay, the quality of bending improves in Korra's era. The quality of bending
is still the greatest.
In Korra's era, right? Everyone can lightning bend. In Korra's era, it's not rare. Everyone can lightning bend. Everyone can metal bend. Okay, I think Bolin's magma bending.
Who created it?
Toph. But like I said, but that was the era of the plumbers and mechanics.
And you know what? And they don't have seismic sense either. They don't have seismic sense either, so it will never be as good on a level as Toph. And we got Katara, who's the greatest waterbender of all time. Bloodbend, by the way. Then we got Sokka. And then we got Zuko. Firebender of all time.
Zuko's not the greatest firebender. He's not the greatest firebender. You're capping.
He's being Mako.
Hey, I could see Mako, but like Bolin could magma bend. I forget. Mako also had like a combination bending too, right?
Yeah, Mako had Mako could generate lightning.
Yeah, Mako could do lightning. Mako could do lightning. Like everyone had extra sauce,
but he can't redirect
equipment. Okay,
he can't
whatever. And Aang, Avatar Aang's getting packed up by deniers who don't even have
He was
who
holding
don't even
back.
have the
He
equipment.
was holding
Who don't even
back.
have the equipment
He
that
was
Amon
holding
had.
back. He didn't want
Because
to kill people.
Amon and his
He didn't
crew,
want to kill
right?
people.
They got lightning
Oh,
gauntlets.
stop it. Stop
They
it.
got technology.
Stop it.
They got mechs.
Stop it.
They got mech suits. Okay? Aang's being packed up by people with bows and arrows.
Stop it. Stop it. He
Like
didn't
I
want to kill
said,
people.
it's a fraudulent era.
He didn't want to kill people.
We had to
Yo,
get
you gotta. Yo,
we had to get
this is
past
crazy.
Aang's era to get to where the meta is now.
Bro,
Right.
he's holding back.
He was holding back though. He was holding back, and that
I
first
mean,
fight
he
against them,
was holding
he
back,
was.
but like
he didn't want
like
to break the
Aang-
building. He was freaking
Yeah.
out.
Aang's like Wilt Chamberlain, right? Like that was great for his time. He may have had the 100-point game and all that stuff, but he's not LeBron. Okay, he's not built for the modern era, and that's okay. That's okay. But I'm saying Korra's era was tougher. She dealt with more threats. Okay,
I'll say this.
she dealt with multiple world-ending threats.
I'll say this, right? Korra's endgame villains for per season are bigger threats, except for like Unalak, but that's really more so for like different reasons. But like her endgame threats are stronger, or I would say more dangerous than Ozai. But you put Aang in like a lot of those situations she's in, and he's coming out clean.
I don't know.
He's beating.
Aang might get packed up by a couple of people with lightning fists because he's not prepared for it.
He can redirect lightning.
No, not those guys. I'm talking about the guys, Amon's boys with the gauntlets and the mechs.
And he'll evade. He's always people. He comes from a generation where people are always trying to kill him at like every second, bro. Like he's on his.
I don't know. You put the gang against the Red Lotus crew. I don't know.
Gang against the Red Lotus crew.
I don't know.
That's Aang in 5. Easy. Aang's packing up Zahir because Zahir isn't even that good of a airbender.
That's true.
Zahir lost to Tenzin, his son. We already seen in a flashback that he cooked Amon's dad, who did the same thing as Amon did. So we know bloodbending ain't a problem for him. Unalak pre Dark Spirit, he's cooking before he even gets. He isn't even gonna get to that point where he, because Unalak's whole thing with Korra was like he wanted to open up the spirit portals, and Korra believed him. And if it was Aang would have been like, nah, what are we doing? We are not opening the portals to hell. I don't know who would say yes to this. I don't know. We are not doing that. But even if we did do that, and we did get to that point of Unalak getting the dark avatar and becoming this huge kaiju beast, it would just do what Korra did and grab Rava and become the kaiju version of that as well. And then there's Kuvira, who Aang is smacking. She's a regular Earthbender, dog. I
mean, I'm assuming, but even Zahir, is Aang gonna beat Zahir poisoned?
He's not gonna get poisoned.
He's just simply not gonna get poisoned.
He's not gonna get he's not gonna get. It's not gonna get. Like I say, it's not gonna get to that point. It would never get to that point.
All right. I'm just asking. I'm just saying. I'm saying Korra came from a more competitive era. The bending was better. Objectively, the bending was better. She had to fight better benders with more complex bending. Okay, Aang's era was soft. It was soft.
Oof.
There's no hate to Korra.
Aang's era was soft.
I know Korra gets a lot of hate. You know what I mean? And this isn't the hate Korra. You know, I've actually grown a bit more over the years with how I feel about Korra. You know what I mean? But like, a lot of the things that Korra got in trouble for was like literally because of Korra's own doing. Like the situations got that.
I'm not saying Korra is smart. Okay, I'm not saying
the situations are bringing up
smart or wise. I'm saying her bending's better.
The situations you're bringing up, she's in those situations because she put herself there. And also, Aang's better bender than Korra. 100%.
Agree to disagree, but
100%.
yeah,
We'll agree to disagree, but 100%. Like, because he's more spiritually intact, so he knows his avatar state more, and he actually trained with like actual. He trained with the dragons, which were the original firebenders. He trained with Toph, which is the best earthbender, and has her seismic sense. the best waterbender being Katara and Paku. Already a project airbending because of Gyatso and just of how he was built. Like, and the more you get in tune with your spirituality in Avatar, the more that amps you up. Like, he is like a different, like, it really is like a different level. And I would say like Korra has where it is a case of like
and the
like
different level was on display during this movie, right?
Hold on. And I'll say this, right? Korra probably, like, if we were looking at this at like an RPG, right? Korra has more in like power, maybe, right? But like Aang knows how to use that power.
Oh, he knows how to use it. Okay, that's why it's getting packed up this movie.
Hey, I'm just saying Korra would have gotten like equally as fast, dog. I don't know why you're acting like Korra would have done any better. That's all I'm. Korra,
That's all he's saying right there for that.
All right. Okay. We'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, one last point, right? Korra, Aang was holding back against the non-benders and got beat because he was holding back. Korra would have tried to beat the non-benders and still got beat. That's
no, I disagree. I disagree. I disagree.
That's the level.
And I'll say this: even the caliber of non-benders in Korra's era were stronger than non-benders in this era. Okay, the caliber. I'm saying everything leveled up. Everything leveled up in Korra's level. In Korra's era.
But we'll leave it there for now. We'll leave it there.
Okay, yeah, we'll leave it there.
All right. Before I bring up my synopsis. The gang fights. So Taga, after fighting the gang, Taga goes back and meets with Aang, who now has obtained the staff of Soyeon. And, he takes it from Aang, and Aang's like, okay, well, now we're going to use this to bring back the Airbenders, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, we bring back the Airbenders. And we're also, like, gonna genocide, like, everyone else. We're gonna make sure no one else is around to mess with our airbending army. And this kind of takes Aang back a little, like, oh, what you mean? That isn't what we are doing here. I only want our people to come back. He's like, our people will come back. And some people will be gone by the time they do, And, at this, Aang's like, Aang can't, go along with this because, what Taga is suggesting is insane. And so they fight, but, Taga gets the better of him. And
also, I gotta say this. Well, Taga, what did the waterbenders do? Like, I get why you have beef with the earthbenders and the firebenders. What do the waterbenders do?
It's a case of
water, bro. They're not airbenders, bro.
He's just hating.
It's preemptive.
He's just hating on the waterbenders for no reason.
Haters gotta hate.
Like that 57. What did he say F me for?
That's exactly how it probably went down.
Yeah, I think it's just because like it's just a preemptive strike, just in case they ever just think about do going up against them. So I mean, might as well try to be safe. But yeah, him and Taga has a little fight, but Taga gets the better of him and takes the staff, and he also takes Appa as well. Blows up the ship and then leaves the island to where he later goes and meets up with the Deniers and turns them into airbenders as well.
Hypocrites. Huge hypocrites.
No, I think that was their original.
Yeah, they wanted power.
Yeah,
they just wanted power?
Yeah.
Because they were just salty that they didn't have bending.
It does sound hypocritical, which is kind of ironic though, Beto, because I thought they were just mad at the benders. I thought they were going to use this stuff to do something bad to all people who could bend, but no. They literally wanted to join the benders. And I'm just like, all right, bro. What's really the play here,
the non-benders in Korra's generation, okay, they were about that life. they were real haters because they were like, we don't want anyone to have bending.
Exactly.
That makes sense to me in my brain. Like, yeah, nix it. You're like, nah, we hate bending so much we want to join y'all. We want to be just like y'all. I'm like, I don't really get it, gang.
Well,
That's a
then
weird
again,
strategy y'all got.
if you were born without bending powers, you might be a little sad about that. You might be like, dang,
Yeah.
you know, everybody
Yeah,
in my
but-
tribe got this power. I don't got this power.
But the whole energy on it was just like, we're gonna take revenge. And I'm like, all right, what's the strategy? They're like, we're gonna get bending. I'm like, all right. That's wild. That's your
We hate the
plan.
benders. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna fix that. We get the bending powers. Okay.
What? Huh? I was so, bro. That
But it's different.
you're-
It's different. It's different when I do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different when
When
I do it.
do it. I do it. I do it for
Yeah.
noble reasons. I bend for noble reasons.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm like
that's
you.
a super valid complaint, Beto. I also thought that was mad hypocritical. My eyebrow raised so high when that happened. I was like,
I
oh?
will say if I have like one like complaint, I would say the Niners were not developed like
No.
enough or at
Not
all.
really.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I feel like they could have done
It-
a little bit
I-
more with him. But they become kind of like the airbending evil henchmen of Taga. So they go
And
off.
how come when you get bending fresh out of the gate, you're like ace at it?
Yeah, they're
Right.
also like super nice with it. They figured it out pretty. They figured out all the tips and tricks of it pretty well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's because they got trained by Taga on the ship.
Oh, true.
On
On
the
the ship,
ship.
on the way
Yeah.
back. Yeah, he was teaching
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was
he's
teaching
like,
them.
there's a couple quick tricks, you know what I mean? All you really need is a few.
Yeah, he showed Aang one trick and they're bursting tornadoes, brother. Like they had a whole ship ride.
Yeah.
He's talking some stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want to breathe in and out, lad. But yes. So they're on their way to Republic City while Aang is kind of dying because Taga did like an air bullet that kind of pierced him. And because he's in this temple, he can now connect with Avatar Soyun. And Soyun explains to Aang that like she sealed this staff because Taga wanted it because he was on that same genocidal route that he was back then. And he was a monster with the staff as it was giving him more and more spirit energy.
Well, that's because the Earthbenders were wild and
Yeah, because the Airbenders were wild in, and they killed off like a bunch of Taga's friends and family, and so he had to like strike back, and he wanted to wipe them all out. So it was kind of like as you said mentioned earlier, a similar mindset of like that Viltrumite. We gotta set things right because of our strength, and Soyeon wasn't having that. So she took the staff, sealed it in the temple that only an Avatar can unlock, and sealed Taga and an ice cube for the rest of the years up until
because she couldn't kill him.
Yeah,
As in,
couldn't
like,
kill
not as in I didn't want to kill him, but I couldn't. I
couldn't.
physically could not.
him. He was a bit much.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
And so fast forward to now, you can see the Avatar line, starting to take Aang, and it looks like he might be looks like the Avatar cycle is about to restart. But then that's when he kind of gets brought back by Katara, who it turns out landed in some spirit water, and that was good enough to heal the wounds of. It pretty much brought Aang back to life, similarly to the end of season 2 of.
Oh, and not just Aang, everybody.
Oh yeah,
She says right there, which is if it wasn't for the spirit waters, Taga would have slimed out the entire Avatar crew. He would have there. He would have killed everyone if it wasn't for the spirit waters,
Hey, shout to the spirit waters. You know what I mean?
which is crazy.
It's
Yeah,
crazy,
Taga-
bro. He has like a sniper ability where he's like uses his airbending
Yeah, as a
to
gun.
fire an air blast through the heart, and it like kills you like on impact.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, that's a
Taga's-
pretty ridiculously overpowered ability, bro.
yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Taga's
Aang
different.
Aang doesn't use his airbending for real. You know, he's not using it to its maximum potential.
He's Taga is
It's not.
Taga's a force. Taga's a force for
It's a
sure.
force, man.
probably just actually I would say he is like the strongest threat we have in the verse currently until they decide to drop another movie.
They're not going to drop another one.
Oh, you don't think?
There's gonna be Avatar Aang.
Probably.
I could see it. I could see it. Maybe like just because they're trying to make Avatar more of a franchise.
Yeah.
I could see them doing something else.
The CEO of Paramount hates animations. You see how this whole
It is bizarre because they both want to clearly want to make Avatar a franchise, but then they also don't want to manage it well at all. It's a paradox.
It's
It
a
is a
huge
strange
paradox. Like throughout this whole entire movie, I was just thinking, why isn't this in theaters?
Yeah,
Like,
it's ridiculous.
100%. Like this movie should have been theaters. Like
Should have been
the animation quality is superb, and like it may not be like the best like story ever, but it is perfectly in line with pretty much any anime original movie. Like it is, it's in line with like a One Piece film Red or like a Dragon Ball Broly or like it's in my mind it's that kind of space, and it could have done pretty well in theaters. Like nothing crazy, but if you put it at the right time, like not now, not between the Odyssey and Spider-Man, but like
it would be burned.
if you chose the right time, like in September or something, I think this could have done some pretty decent numbers.
Yeah, it's definitely a fumbling on Paramount's part. And even with like how they're leaked to be handling Pavi's story in Seven Havens.
Yep. Yeah, we can bring that up. Yeah, they're gonna drop the new Avatar show. There's coming a new Avatar show. This is the year of Avatar. Yeah. Like I think we're getting like 3 big Avatar projects this year.
Yeah,
we're getting the movie, we're getting the game, and we're getting the new show.
Oh yeah, and also the Netflix.
Oh yeah, and Netflix. You're right, 4. Yeah. But the Pavi show, they're releasing the entire 26 episodes, 2 seasons at once on one day.
Yeah,
which is like
wild,
crazy.
It's like I don't know why they would do that. Even just, it's like they're trying to kill like any hype, garnering any hype for this franchise.
Because like even from like a financial like point of view, because the idea behind putting shows on your streaming service is to what? Drive up subscriptions to your Paramount Plus.
Yep.
Why on earth would you release the entire show all at once, 26 episodes, to Paramount Plus if you want to drive up subscriptions? Doesn't make any sense.
We want to drive up subscriptions for like one day.
Yeah, one day. or a free trial. Like you could like get a free trial, watch the whole show, and then not subscribe, or subscribe for 1 month.
Yeah, it's I don't know. They're on something, bro. John Paramount gotta look into it.
John Paramount.
But back to Aang. So Aang and the gang are back, and they need to get to the Republic City to stop Taga. So this is when the ocean spirit comes as like a spirit portal to take them through to the spirit world, and from the spirit world they'll go to the Republic City. So they go through the spirit portal. See this might have been a cameo by a voice actor, but I didn't look it up. But they see a six. It's a 6
of the spirit.
Yeah, the 6-eyed boar that pops up.
Oh, do you want to know who it is?
Yeah, it was really random.
It has to be a comedy actor. It's a comedy actor, right?
Yeah,
it's a comedy director, writer, Oscar winner.
Is it Taika Waititi?
Yes, it is.
God, I knew it. I knew it, bro. In the back of my head, I was like, it's Taika Waititi, isn't it?
Gorilla Vark is played by none other than Taika Waititi.
Yeah, for the worst scene in the movie, like just the most wasting time.
Oh, I thought it was being whimsy here.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Okay, well that just happened. Literally. But he shoots them to meet up with Taka at the Republic City. And the gang splits up and go on their own, individual bouts and fights with the new airbenders, and Aang going to Taka. So once we get to Taka, Aang and him are kind of arguing back and forth. Taka is saying, if Aang only had the resolve to strike back, Aang should have the resolve to strike back. Especially after everything that's happened to him with the Fire Nation. Taking away his friends and family. He should be on his side. But Aang's like, all four nations need to live in harmony, bro. No one nation, this nation should be over the other.
Yeah.
And this is where their ideals deals very different. And Aang's hurt because it's the first time, he had to fight someone almost like he described it as Taka as like a brother. It was finally because he finally found someone who was like him, but they're just on such polar opposite ends. But they fight, and mid battle, Taka, I forgot how he powers up exactly. But he powers up with
he takes the staff and he hits the temple grounds.
Yes.
Yes, and then he enters the second Sage's boss fight.
Yes. And he low key
Health meter goes
his full spirit form low key reminded me of I'm gonna say it was like the anti-Sproul from Gurren Lagann or something from Gurren Lagann, but I was getting
Lord Genome. Almost.
Yeah.
He gets buffed up.
Yeah.
And he gets blue and his airbender tats become red. And he's going up against Aang, and Aang's trying to hold off against him, but he's just kind of too strong now. But using the soul tether technique that Taka taught him earlier, he was able to catch Taka off guard and grab the staff, and also power up on his end. And he kind of becomes reminiscent of Soyeon in his new avatar form, and he's able to overpower and defeat Taga.
He is putting some BTA in this scene.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. This is my GOAT, in all his glory.
Yeah, and he needs a power up to do it.
I mean, it's Taga, but let's sure.
It was. I will say though, I did like kind of Aang's. I won't call it a soliloquy, but I did like Aang's speech.
Yeah.
At this point in the movie, because he was clearly not having a fun time beating on Taga. He was not enjoying this experience. He was extremely frustrated.
Yeah.
He really did. He really did want to be friends and family with Taga. He wanted Taga to join him
so much.
desperately. And so he was in immense pain. And so he was almost shouting at him you ruined it. We were going to be a family. And it's you ruined this. You ruined everything. And I love that scene so much because it really does show. I know earlier you mentioned I think it was Bait mentioned that Avatar Aang was soft. But I think
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say he was soft.
You didn't say Avatar Aang was soft?
I said his era was soft.
Okay. All right.
There's a difference.
You're right. There is a difference. Because in this scene, I think him valuing friendship and alliances so heavily made this betrayal extremely hurtful for him. Because I don't think at this point in the story, Aang has had anyone that he has trusted that has flipped on him quite like this. There were people that were against him that ended up aligning with him, which is a very different scenario. But this was the first time that this was somebody that he trusted, that he was really close to. He believed in them. They were everything to him. And this person straight up used him.
Yeah.
The closest is what, Jet?
I mean, I don't think I mean, I guess
Chat wasn't the
Jet wasn't.
same.
Yeah, but Jet wasn't that close to him. He was just like,
Yeah, okay.
like he liked him, but
Yeah.
like once you find out what Jet was doing, he's like, okay, I gotta stop you. The crank. Ain't nothing to.
Yeah, like he was literally like, man, I finally got family again. Like I this was not good. This was a very bad situation. It was so bad that he really did allow his emotions to get the better. I did like how Suyan was like, hey, listen, Taga was not like this at the beginning. Taga was loyal, Taga was solid, but Taga has PTSD because
Yep.
Taga had seen his friends and his family that went to go to these other nations to make peace. They were saying, "Hey, we should stop fighting. Fighting is bad. Like I will prevent you from harming people that are innocent." And they were literally like massacred while trying to prevent war. And Taga watched this happen. Like the depths of Taga's trauma are so intense.
Yeah.
And so Taga, after experiencing that, was no longer the same man. But he had already acquired bending. He had already acquired bending and a very elevated level of bending. And he wanted even more power so that he could do what was done to him to others. Aang, and it corrupted him. That whole situation corrupted Taga. So when he got the staff, he was not himself. He was moving super different. Aang's corruption was from something different. Aang's corruption was from the pain of betrayal, of having someone that you trusted and believed in do you dirty. And I just loved how both of them lost themselves for very different reasons based on what would cause each of them the most pain and the most anguish.
Yeah.
I think the writing in that scene was really, really well done.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was really good. Yeah.
It was definitely phenomenal. And the fact, like you pointed, it's we're seeing two people deal with their griefs, their separate griefs in different ways. Whereas Aang is trying to live with it, and trying to move forward and still unite people. Taga's using that grief to separate and destroy people. So it's a real like two opposite sides of the same coin type
Mm-hmm.
thing. And it kind of shows why, and this is actually kind of why it shows like why Aang is an avatar. You know what I mean? Because he's in a position where he could snap at any moment and level this entire field if he wanted to, right? But he doesn't.
Could he?
All right, dog. All right, dog. No, I don't want to hear from someone who hasn't finished the series. I don't want to hear from someone. Bro, so
Don't
thinks,
tell me you're getting baited by bait again. Oh
Bro,
my gosh, that's crazy.
bro still thinks Ozai looks like a silhouette.
I'm just asking questions. I'm asking
You don't even
questions,
know what
bro.
Ozai look like. Man thinks Zuko still has a ponytail, bro. But it's very Naruto-esque, where he kind of learns to control that rage and not like go too crazy on on everyone. But this scene, this entire fight scene, from start to beginning to the end was very it's very well animated, very beautifully animated, and like Bates mentioned earlier, it was definitely should have been put in like the theaters.
The side fights were good too.
Yeah, and also the side fights with Toph metal bending a metal armor set and taking out the surrounding airbenders, and then there's Zuko and Katara, and even Sokka had was able to help out, by adding some more water to the field and giving them more of an advantage.
I will say, out of all of the like Team Avatar, Toph is like the least disrespected.
Yeah,
she gets the most I think she's portrayed as like strong throughout. Even when she loses, she's portrayed as strong throughout.
yeah.
In a way that I think like Zuko and Katara kind of like they look a little iffy, but Toph never looks iffy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
She doesn't show her enemies that she lost. It's like I don't want to be seen like a loser.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think Toph just it helps because Toph just has such a what's the word? I guess charming personality about her.
Mhm.
So even like
Yeah,
in the face
she's
of fight,
Jack now.
yeah, just like, I'm the best Airbender of all
Better
time.
ever, yeah.
Yeah. uh, but yeah, we go back to the fight, and t- Aang's kind of like wailing on Taga using the staff, and it looks like he's about to cross a line, but then he remembers, who he is. He remembers the monks, and that's when he realizes, like, no, I'm not gonna go down that path. He takes the staff and he snaps it,
Snaps
breaking.
and that.
Snaps.
And when the staff breaks, all the airbenders that were given airbending can no longer airbend. They stop airbending. Their Glock ran out of bullets.
Mhm.
And this is where Taga starts to evaporate because I think this is where that part of him being like powered by that spirit energy kind of comes into play. And he starts evaporating along with the staff. And after realizing the kind of airbender Aang was, and kind of realizing a bit, kind of having like a self-reflection on, okay, maybe I was wilding a little bit. He he cracks up, and Aang and him share some parting words, and he evaporates into dust. And that is the end of Taga. Uh and and the aftermath of all of this, the they're rebuilding, an air temple near Republic City, and Aang is this is where Aang actually develops his acolytes that you would see a little bit of in the Legend of Korra. And they're going on a bit of an adventure. This adventure is just for them to like find, anything, lost artifacts, anything pertaining to the Air Nation uh history. And they don't find any artifacts per se, but they do stumble upon something extraordinary. They stumble upon more sky bison, which were thought to be extinct, but turns out there were more. Pro- there were more in this part of the world, and this is actually why there's more sky bison in Korra as well for all my Avatar watchers.
Mhm.
And movie ends with the gang riding on top of Appa with the new sky bisons as they sail off into the sky, and Avatar Aang realizes that he is the last Airbender, but he's also a family guy. I don't know how to end that, but yeah, that's the end of the movie.
You
That's
wanted to
ending.
end it
That
somewhere
didn't end
with
it.
a good
I
joke.
will say, I mean, eventually the Airbenders do come back. I guess when the
Yeah,
spirit portal is opened, and
Harmonic
then you get a
Convergence.
new,
Yeah,
you get a new burst of Airbenders. So I'm curious what the Airbenders will look like in uh, the new series. What's it called? Avatar: The Seven Havens
hmm
or whatnot. Um, but they're making a comeback. They're making a comeback.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how they take going further to Seven Havens, for sure. But yeah, no, overall, I think this movie was extremely well done. It really felt like, honestly, re watching it, it felt like one of those movies that that like a typical anime series would have. You know what I mean?
It's like one
Like
of those movies that happens during like the show, like syndication or
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
while the show was going on.
And I'm
Yeah,
thankful
I
that
see that.
that's actually even like new content that's because when the movie was like announced, I didn't know if it was gonna be like how new the content would be, or if they would just go directly into like the comics. Because they do
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
like comic after adventure. So I'm glad that they did do an original.
And they
Or
could have done the very easy thing, which is let's do another Adventure of the Kids.
yeah, they could have. But they're like,
Yeah.
nah, but because Avatar came out such a long time ago, their target audience has grown up by now. And you can even see it
Yeah.
like throughout the film. Even with like Taga's backstory. Like I was surprised when there was like a shot of him well not shocked, but like like, for a split second, I'm like, huh. And that was when they showed like Taga with like blood on him, because his people were getting killed. And I'm like, oh, they showed blood. That,
Yeah.
we adults now.
We've grown up.
Yeah. Next movie about to have none but rated R sex scenes now. I'm like,
It's
attention to the plot.
Attention to the plot. Oh no.
The hidden fifth element of backbending. That's
all right. This is a family podcast. This is a family channel.
But no, I really appreciated this movie, and even though Paramount was trying to sabotage the release of this at every run, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait for more Avatar stuff in the future.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I enjoyed it for what it is. Definitely, it is a very. The movie was really backed by the animation, even though the plot was kind of a little bit simple, and some characters were a little weaker than most. But overall, it is a perfectly suitable animated film.
Yeah, like I think I said earlier, it occupies my brain in the same space as like an anime movie, like an anime original movie.
Yeah.
It is it perfect? No. Right? Are some characters undercooked? Yeah. But I wouldn't discount that if I'm watching like Film Red or Gold or Stampede or Dragon Ball Broly or Superhero. Like what we got, the main core bit of it was good. And that's what you kind of want from like this kind of anime original movie. I mean, some are gonna exceed and be like really, really good. Like you have your exceptions. Like for me, like for One Piece, I will always say like Film Z is like really solid. Even then, Film Z is not a perfect movie either.
Yeah.
Right. But for what it is, it's a very good one of these. It's a very good. The animation's very good. The characters feel very authentic to themselves. And I can definitely see, if I was more involved in the fan base, I can really see why this would feel like really good as a fan to come back and say, oh, the characters I grew up with are now growing up. They're in a good spot relatively. They're continuing to grow and evolve. And I think this is very nice for like what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most
I think
definitely.
overall, I think there were some parts of the movie that I thought were really, really, really well done. Some parts that I feel like could have used a bit more care, a bit more forethought, a bit more love. And I feel like overall I enjoyed the film. I think there were some parts where I felt like some elements could have been a little shorter. They didn't be as long as they were. Some things felt a little dragged out. I think overall it did check a lot of boxes for me. I think for fans of the series, and I like the series. I'm not a diehard Avatar fan. I think this would probably be what some probably may call the best Avatar film we've received so far.
I mean, it is the
Especially
only
considering
one.
most of
So
I mean,
like,
we've gotten Avatar films. They've just been live action.
yeah.
And disappointing to say the least. But so I think compared to those, many people would say that this is far better than any live action films that we received related to the
I don't know, man.
storyline.
Aang was cooking in the last
On,
Airbender. Yeah,
like
Aang.
when you flip the light switch on, is that
Aang, yeah, Aang and Sokka and
Ugg?
yeah, he's the
Aang?
Avatar. Yeah, he's the Avatar.
Yeah,
I don't.
the aviator. Got
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Aviator, the last airbender is crazy. Anywho.
I can
but-
pronunciation, so that one.
Disappointing. This was not disappointing. I don't think anybody would say this film was bad. But I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you give it a rating, what would you give it? I will start. I would say I'm giving this peak mid. It is, is it kind of mediocre? Yeah. Like I think even mediocre feels like harsh to say when I give this. But
You
is it
call it
kind
a
of like
peak anything. It can't be mediocre.
well, I mean, but like is it like mid? Yeah. Right? But it's like the best of mid. Right?
So
It
mid
is
peak,
do you call it peak mid or mid peak? I don't
Wait,
know
so
what
mid,
you
mid peak. If you feel like it's mid, but it's the best mid that you've seen.
well, mid peak is like,
but wouldn't you
peak.
say that's peak mid?
Wait, okay, so wait, do you is it first peak mid
No,
trash?
no, I wouldn't.
I would say, I don't know, this is semantics, if it's mid peak or peak mid, but I would say it's in the middle, but it's the high part of the middle.
Okay,
Then that's mid peak.
mid peak.
Yeah.
I like to call it peak mid.
Wow, I say
No,
peak mid.
that's the best, but it's the middle of the best. Is
The
peak mid.
middle of the best. Okay. All right. All right. So
Because
yeah, mid peak.
your first statement is like, what is the initial ranking, and then where does it fall
Yeah.
within that tier?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Okay, so you
So
said
mid peak for bait.
okay.
Mhm.
I could go. So for me, I gave this movie I really loved this movie. Uh,
Mm.
I even like rewatched some scenes before this pod because I just wanted to like revisit them and enjoy it. And I think for what we had, especially with the development that it went through and development hell went through, it came out very well done. Uh, visually it looks great. It was cool to see the gang back. There are like aspects though that I do think that we could have done a bit more with. Like, even though the gang's back, I feel like outside of tough, maybe, but like there are what outside of tough and Sokka, I would say that we could have done a bit more with like I think I would have liked like 10 more minutes. I think that's what is. I think I would have liked 10 more minutes of the gang kind of just interacting with each other because it kind of just feel like along for the ride until we like need them to like say something.
Mm.
Uh, but other than that, and also some because it's coming from Avatar, there are some there were some discrepancies. I'm not gonna I'm not trying to like fine tune anything, right? Or look at it with like a spyglass.
You can nitpick, dude. It's fine. We're
Yeah, it's
critics.
fine. Yeah.
But just not even like nitpicking, but like it's more of like a this is a very I wish they should this is a very
I
depowered
know what you're trying to say. The power scaling. The
yeah,
power
the power
scaling
scale is
was bad.
the power scale. Taga's great. I think Taga is fantastic,
Yes.
especially for where he's at and what he's supposed to represent. He's definitely like the most like intimidating like a villain we've had. Just on like he feels like the Broly equivalent. To Avatar.
Tago will wipe Ozai.
Broly
Yeah,
adjacent isn't a bad.
Yeah.
Isn't a bad
But like
perspective.
I feel that there is a way. I think we're trying to get across is there's a way to depict a really powerful enemy without
depowering
making
the
your guys look weak.
yeah. And I
Right?
think
It's a
and
balance.
there's
It's not easy, but there is a way to do it that feels satisfying.
yeah.
And this kind of like felt like the people were like the characters were kind of punching a little less.
Yeah, like especially because it's like moments. Cause I watched this with my siblings as well. Cause like I said, we've seen the show. We're all like fans of it. It is a strict Aang house here. You better get that Korra maybe at somewhere else. But no. But we kind of even mentioned like, is it me or is Aang kind of like struggling a little too hard at like these sectors where where I feel like even Kid Aang wouldn't have, struggled as hard.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I messed with it all. Taka's a great villain. Aang's a great protag. Can't wait to see more. If they do a Korra one, it'd be cool to see a Korra one as well. And yeah, I give it a, because of the things just the discrepancies I've noticed with it, and also the plot. I think the plot's pretty well done. I don't think mediocre is the word for it. But it is like you mentioned, it is like a typical, like, or not typical, but like it is very original anime plot for a movie. Uh, but it's a strong plot. I feel it's a strong plot. I think the relationship with Aang trying to reconnect with his roots, and then those roots not being as great is a very strong plot point wise. But I have to give it I gave it a mid peak. So, but it's like a low.
Same as bait.
Yeah. Well, no, it's peak, but it's the middle of peak.
Oh, so peak
So
mid.
it's higher.
Yeah.
So peak mid.
Yeah. I call it mid because it's the middle of peak. So
Peak.
mid.
Yeah, semantics, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a I guess this is technically like a 10 point. Is it 9? It's actually a 9-point scale. So what you're giving it is like an 8 out of 9, and I'm giving it like a 7
I look at
or
it
6, 7 or 6 out of 9.
I look at it more as when it comes to my scale, it's like
Mhm.
usually like a point out of like 5.
Yeah.
And I gave the movie a 4.4, which that's my
That's
mid.
pretty high.
That's my mid range.
I would say if I were doing traditional like scaling, it'd be like a 3 out of 5 for me.
Okay. But yeah, that's mine.
Okay.
Gray.
All right. So I'm gonna put a disclaimer on it. I, once again, I've said this quite a few times during this podcast. I like Avatar, but I haven't seen all of it. So my perspective on this may not be as strong as someone who watched all of Korra or someone who watched all of the original series. I've seen bits and pieces. So I was watching this film for what it is, based on the characters that I'm familiar with. How good is the story? How well written are the characters? How good is the combat? How does the animation look? How does the soundtrack make the moments feel? What is the emotional impact, et cetera, et cetera. They got a lot of things right in this movie. I won't lie. Like from the get go, I was like, this is drawn really well. The sound direction was really strong. The visuals were beautiful. The way that they kind of even showed the bending and like how they like the martial arts inspiration behind the bending really came through really clearly throughout a lot of scenes in the film. I liked the grown-up versions of these characters. I think the design of these characters as adults, and I don't know if they show them at this age in Korra at all. But if this is the first time that we're seeing this character design of these people as adults, they really did a great job. I was actually really impressed with how they chose to what the clothes they decided to give them, the hairstyles. It did feel more adult, which was that was the idea.
In Korra, the flashbacks of the characters are like they're like in their 40s.
Yeah, like 40.
Okay, so this is the first time we've seen them at this age
Yeah.
in anything.
Yeah.
They were not this old in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, and they were not this young in Korra. Got you. That adds up in my head too. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, realistically, I think this is for a lot of people the first time seeing these characters in this light. I think they did a good job of design here. Even with the design of characters that we had never met before. I think everyone looked great. And the storyline was really compelling and challenging. It put the main character in a situation where he was between a rock and a hard place. Because he was fighting one enemy, makes a friend. Now that friend becomes the enemy. He wasn't aware that was the enemy. And it keeps putting a variety of challenges in front of him that force him to make really hard decisions. I like stories that make a main character make really hard decisions. I think the decision became a bit easier as the story kind of made its way forward a bit more. But I think what they were building here was really well thought out. Um, as I said, there were some moments where I felt like things were kind of dragging. Some areas where I feel like I wish that they spent a bit more time. So overall, I can't call it like peak. I did like it a lot though. So for me, it does rank within the peak tier. Um, however, I am picky. And so for me, um, there are some animated films that I've seen because I'm ranking this against things that fit within the same genre of animated films. There's some animated films that I've seen that, quite frankly, blow this out of the water. No offense. And there's some animated films that I've seen that are a bit better, but not like extremely better. But I did like this a lot. So I'm still going to put it within the peak tier, but for me, it's going to be low peak. I struggle to rank it any higher than that. I do feel like it deserves the peak stamp. It deserves to be in peak tier. It is a quality film. It's something that I could probably say for a fan of the show, I could genuinely recommend it to someone and say, hey, if you loved Avatar: The Last Airbender and you watched it all, you should definitely check out this movie. Uh, I did enjoy it for what it was. I feel like there was some opportunities, and for that reason, I cannot rate it any higher to mid or peak tier. But I feel like peak low is a respectable tier 4 for sure.
Yeah, I'm not mad at
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I was debating about doing lower or mid because there were like ad views, but it literally reached mid for me because of just like 0.1 by just 0.1 point. But yeah, no, it's a really good start or a really good
I respect it.
Yeah,
attempt at like an Avatar IP.
Yeah.
for
All right.
sure.
Beto?
Um. Yeah. So, mm, for this movie, I definitely did always with an open mind and with the animation, the story, characters, and everything about that. This movie was carried by the animation, and I can see through the cracks of the story and characters that it felt like something I've seen before or probably have recently this year. Albeit it's still a memorable film that any new Avatar fans, any old Avatar fans can just appreciate for what it is. It sucks that this movie had to go through all this leak, the failed attempt at putting it in theaters. It should have been appreciated enough for what it is. Um, but even though with all that, I I still I give it a mid peak rating due to its cliched attempts and its formulaic ways, but it's still carried by the animation either way.
Yeah, say the word
Okay.
slide.
So what's your final score again, Beto?
Mid peak.
Mid peak? Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So that averages out. So me and Beto are like mid peak, and then you guys are higher. So we're gonna meet in the middle. We're gonna converge
Low peak.
to, I'll say, peak low.
Yeah, low peak sounds good
Yeah,
to me.
it makes sense. Well,
That's
I
fine.
guess.
I'm
Yeah,
cool
that's
with that.
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
I say yeah.
I think it works there.
It's a solid movie. It's worth a watch, especially if you are a fan of the franchise. You're not gonna have a bad time with it. Is it perfect? No, but it's still very good. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enjoy it.
But that is our coverage of Avatar. Let me give the official title one more time. Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender
Yeah.
on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah.
And next week we will be talking about Spider-Man, a brand new day. We're all going to see Spider-Man. We are very excited. So some of us are
We
going to
are
see
very
Spider-Man
excited.
twice.
We are very
Some of
excited.
us are going to see Spider-Man 3 times.
Pick your
We're
poison,
here.
kids.
You know, hey man, being an A-lister has certain benefits.
Speaking
That's
of
all we're gonna
A-lister,
say.
this podcast has been sponsored by.
I wish, man.
I wish
I would take
every
that. I would take
time.
that sponsorship in a heartbeat.
AMC at AMC right now.
In fact,
please.
you don't even have to pay me. Just give me like free popcorn. Just give me like a pass for like free concessions, and we're good.
Don't you get that already as an A-lister? Like, what are we
You
talking
do
about?
not.
It's
You do not.
discounted.
Yeah, you get
don't.
discounts. Yeah.
You get a
Okay.
50% off if you order a large popcorn.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
if yeah,
A large.
a
Yeah,
large.
it's a great paradox where I wish there's a size in between regular and large for popcorn. You know,
It's too much.
It's either a standard size or it's absolutely enormous. Well, I mean,
It's- yeah.
regular is in between small.
Yeah, but
And
small
large.
is too small. Small feels too
Yeah.
small. Regular is good, but I'd like it a little bit more. I don't know. It's a
It's a conundrum right there. I understand.
but yeah, we're excited for Spider-Man, which is projected to be like the biggest movie of the year.
It checks
It's
out.
doing crazy. They're talking like a $800 million opening weekend.
Yeah. I mean
I mean,
everyone
it
that's
is
pre-ordered,
Spider-Man.
it's literally one of the most popular comic book characters
Yeah.
ever. This is on brand for Spider-Man.
Yeah, but this is projected even bigger than No Way Home. And I had like 3 Spider-Mans. So
Yeah, but this
people are ready.
the premise that they built here is such an interesting premise. Even when I finished No Way Home, I was like, what are they gonna do next? Like,
Yeah.
how do you come back from the story? Like, this is crazy. What a horrible thing to happen to Peter Parker. But I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find
I
out.
can't wait.
Find out. We will see you all next time. Hope you have a great week.
Yeah.
Take care.
Can't wait.
Adios, amigos.
Sayonara.
Can't wait to see all of you again.
You know.